everyone, it's Lydia here at Lydia's Leisurely Stitching. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is a place where I talk about my cross stitch and all of the crafty things that I've gotten up to. So today we're going to review everything I did in the month of September. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for checking out my channel. I hope that you find something that you like and find a reason to subscribe and come back in the future. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming and spending some time with me. I really appreciate all of you. So today, I've got 5 whips and a new start to share. So let's just dive right in. So the first one, this is Celebrate Summer by Madame Chantilly, and this is a picture of what it'll look like when it's finished. This is stitched on 28 count Atomic Ranch fabric in the color Rainy Day. And this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. And here it is now. This one's getting big. So since the last time I showed this to you, I filled in this plant, the pot it's in, these flowers and leaves, this bit of the gray, and this bit of the gray. Gotta keep my notes in front of me. So this one I worked on for 2 days and did 1,301 stitches. This one is a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to take it with me when I go to a retreat later this month, because it's got some good block stitching in it. So yeah, there's a whale. You can see the spout of water coming out of the whale. I did the water already. There's a whale and then a big black sign that says Hello Beach, I think. And then the bottom of it, and then that will be it. So getting close to a finish on this one. And I just love it. I like having a summer piece on the go, and I really like how this one's turning out. I like the colors. Okay, the next one, this is from Lifted Spirits on Etsy, and it's called Merm-animals. I'm just doing the cat. There's also a bunny. And this is what it looked like the last time I showed it to you. I changed the colors in this. I changed it to be an orange cat, and the colors to match a costume that my sister's orange cat has. And this is where it is now. So this one got 8 days, 1,532 stitches. So you can see I added some dark orange around the collar, and I put an M on his forehead because those are the markings that her cat has in real life. And this one is also close to a finish. I usually work on this when I go to visit her. Doesn't get a lot of dedicated time here at my own place. Okay, and then the last non-full coverage I have to show you. Excuse me. This is the Fungi Book SAL, and this is a picture of the cover of the book, and it has 8 pages on the inside of the book. I have started the cover. I haven't finished stitching the cover yet, but this month I decided to do, like Kelly from Animal Instinct, she's doing another one of the books, and she is trying to do 2 pages a month so that she can have it finished by the end of the year. So my goal for this month was to do 2 pages, and I ended up doing 4. So I was really intimidated by these because I'll show you. There's a lot of 1/1 backstitching, and you know, you have to start and stop your thread a lot more often than you do with a full coverage, which is what I'm used to stitching. So this is 1, the inky cap. And then, goodness. To the Fly Amanita. Three is the Morel. And 4 is the Black Trumpet. So for these, I worked on it for 6 days and did 2,215 stitches. So they averaged, let's see, one of them was 637, 536, 425. So they're all about 500 stitches. But yeah, I'm really happy with how the writing turned out. Yeah, I think they look really good. So my goal was to do 2. I did 4, so there's 4 pages left. And I'm going to try and do another 2 in the month of October. And then we get to my full coverage stitching, which is where I have an almost finish and a new start. Oh, and the last one, the Fungi Book SAL, that's from Living on the Rainbow on Etsy, and it's stitched, the pages are stitched on 32 count lamb's wool jublin. And obviously it's a mixture, like the mushrooms are 2/2, but then the writing, some of it is 1/1 or 1/2. So next I have a Place of Her Own, and this is what it'll look like when it's finished. And this is a Heaven and Earth design, and this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. I was stitching this on 18 count sand aida. 2/1 full cross. And this is the area that I was working in. I did 2,611 stitches over 5 days. I filled in this brown tile down here and then worked on filling in some of this black up here. So all of this that's left is black and 2 stitches of 3371, and then I'll be finished. So this one is currently sitting at 99.65% complete. So yeah, I think that's about 1,000 stitches that's left. I'm saving it to finish at a retreat. So I'll unfold it and show you the full thing. So this piece has 306,000 stitches in it. And it's on 18 count, so it's kind of big. So I have to stand up to show you the whole thing. And then we get to the end. That's all I have left. So that one is really exciting, and when I come back to you at the end of the month, it will be finished. Yeah, so really exciting, that one. And next, what did I do with my clip? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the interruption. So the next one that I worked on was my focus piece for the month. And this is Ornament Log Cabin Home. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. This is artwork by Dominic Davison, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. And this is stitched 1/1 on 25 count Easy Cap Lugana. This month I worked on it for 15 days and I did 5,380 stitches, and it's now at 33.42% complete. And here it is. It looks rather lopsided right now, but this is straight. It's just the edge of the cabin is kind of skewing it. So I worked down here. You can see here, there's like the gutter of the house is here. And then this here is the trees that you can see through the window of the red truck. So the red truck will go right here. And originally my goal for the year, I think, was to do 5,000 or 10,000 stitches. And I ended up deciding, since I reached that, to try and get to a third done, or 33.33%. So like I said, I'm now at 33.42% complete. So I reached my year goal, and I think it's looking great. So the plan for next year is to work on the cabin. I wanted to do this because, like, this tree here and all of these trees, they really looked like there would be a lot of confetti. This is a lot of confetti up here too. So I started with the trees here. I started in the top middle. I worked my way over here, did all of that confetti, and then worked my way down. I wanted to get a good chunk of this done. Tackle the confetti first, and then have the easier parts left for later. So the cabin probably is more than a third of the piece, maybe 40% of the piece, and then I'll have more confetti below the cabin. But man, this one's looking really good in the viewfinder. Really happy with this one. And like I said, I reached my year goal. And my original year goal I way passed. My new stretch goal I've reached. So I felt that I was a little justified in having a new start. So my new start, I was planning on starting once I finished A Place of Her Own. But A Place of Her Own is essentially finished. I'm just saving the last little bit for retreat so that I'll have someone to celebrate my finish with. And so I figured it was fine to go ahead and have my new start. Additionally, Carla, the Stitchy Witch, she said that she had this chart as well and that she wanted to start it. And so I asked her if she would like to do a start along. So we started it together. And then my other friend, another Carla from Craft Addict K, she already has this piece on the go and said that she would jump in and work on hers with us. So we've got a little style going on for this. And this is Once Upon a Fairytale. And this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's artwork by Jenna and Della Grottaglia. And so you'll see a picture of what it'll look like when it's finished. And it's still in the hoop because everything you can see is in the hoop. Here it is so far. I want to get in see, so you can see this leaf here. There's also little lines of like vines throughout. See, there's something here, some stuff up at the top. So originally I had showed you before fabric 18 count that I had gotten for this piece. But I've been working with that fabric, rolling it and unrolling it, trying to get it to loosen up a little bit, because with A Place of Her Own, the fabric was very stiff when I first got it, but now 10 years later, now it's been worked on a lot, the fabric is very soft. So I thought I could just go ahead and start working with the fabric to try and soften it up. And while I was doing that, I decided this is big. So A Place of Her Own is 306,000 stitches. This one is going to be 455,000 stitches. So it's going to be bigger than A Place of Her Own. And I thought, I really don't feel like wrangling that fabric. So this is what I work in. See, that's upside down. See, this is called a Gen Oop, and I got this on eBay, I think. I don't think they make them anymore. The company had a Facebook page that's not in use anymore, so I don't think they make them anymore. But this is what I work on. This is what I did all of A Place of Her Own on. Is this 8-inch hoop that's got a little stand on it so it can sit in my lap. So yeah, I didn't feel like wrangling a full yard of fabric in this again. So I ended up going with 28 count, and I'm doing 1/1. The log cabin is on 25 count, 1/1, and this one has like 57,000 stitches of black. So since the black coverage is not as good as the other colors, I decided to go down a size and do 28 count. I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, but the first square I did, the coverage for the black doesn't look very good to me. And so what I've been doing afterwards is I've been going through and I've consciously tried to stitch looser with the black thread. I'm not pulling it as tight in hopes that it'll stay fluffed up a little bit more. Additionally, sometimes I'm going through and I'm doing the top leg twice. Not every stitch or every other stitch, but maybe every 5th stitch. Whenever I see that I've done the top leg and I can still see a little bit more of the fabric through than I like, I go ahead and do the top leg again. So yeah, so this one, 3,197 stitches in 7 days. And this is at 0.7% complete. I don't want to be one of those people that comes on here and shows you a start with just 100 stitches in it. So I really tried to work hard on this week to get significant progress. But this piece is large, so getting to 1%, that's over 4,500 stitches. My weekly goal typically on a full coverage is to get 1,500 stitches. So to get to 1% is going to take me a little bit longer than the first of the month, and that's okay. I feel good with my start, and I'm happy with how it looks and how much progress I've gotten done. Really, I've done twice what my weekly goal is, so that's just amazing. And my goal for this one, if I want to make this another 10-year piece, like A Place of Her Own, then obviously I need to do 10% a year. So I was thinking that my goal would be to get this to 10% by the end of next year, but I'm feeling ambitious and motivated, and I have accomplished all of my other goals for the year in my full coverage pieces. So I'm going to try and get, because there's a quarter of the year left, I'm going to try and get a quarter of 10% done by the end of the year, so that's 2.5%. And if I divide that up over October and November, 8 weeks, then that's 1,400 stitches a week. And like I said, my goal typically is 1,500 stitches a week, so that's totally doable for me and a comfortable place to be. I guess I said all of my goals are done for full coverage pieces for the end of the year, but that's not true. So I have Victorian Christmas Eve, and I'm planning on working that in December, and I only need 5,000 more stitches on that to reach my goal, so that should definitely be doable for me in the month of December. So this one, I'll try to accomplish my full goal in October and November, and then take a break from this in December while I work on Victorian Christmas Eve. So yeah, so that is all of the projects I've worked on. So in total, in the month of September, I did 16,236 stitches. 11,188 of those are full coverage stitches. So full coverage is definitely where I spend most of my time. I typically try to work on a full coverage piece Monday through Friday for 300 stitches a day, and then work on my non-full coverage pieces on the weekends. It's been turning out that sometimes on Saturday, I'm like, ooh, I just want to eke out a little bit more progress on this full coverage, so I'll throw in a few hundred stitches there. And then on Sunday, I'm like, well, I reached a good stopping point on my non-full coverage. Let me throw in a few more stitches on my full coverage pieces. Yeah, so that's why my numbers don't reflect just 6,000 stitches. I get a little carried away sometimes, and that's fine. I love full coverage stitching, and I'm happy to be doing it. So those are my projects and my plans for the rest of the year. I wanted to do a couple of shout outs. So the first one is stitchandchill. I believe her name is Kelsey, and she is almost to 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't checked her out, go and give her a view and consider subscribing to her. She has a really cool full coverage piece. It's like Van Gogh's Starry Night, but it's got the three brothers from Harry Potter in it. So that one's really cool to see. And so, yeah, go check her out. And the other one is Vera from Vera's Stitching Corner. And recently I've really been enjoying her Stitch With Me videos. She has a supersized max color Randall Spangler. I think it's the Sanctuary of Knowledge. And so it's a big magical library, and it's a really cool piece. So I've been going through, I think she has 15 or 16 Stitch With Me's on it. So I just went to the beginning, started at the beginning of the Stitch With Me's, and I'm working my way through watching them all. So yeah, go give her a check too. She has some cool full coverage pieces as well. And I know that she's working on finishing up a few pieces before December. So that's all I had for you today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'd love it if you leave me a comment below to let me know you were here. These videos, I really like them to be interactive. I'm putting myself out there, and I'd love to hear from you. And make connections, get to know people, and share the love of stitching across the world. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.